and then they would put the baby on the statue's arms right here, okay? And then the baby would burn alive. The baby would be burned alive, and then they would play the drums as loud as they can so the parents wouldn't hear them while they're sacrificing their child. Okay, so when the Lord wipes out people that are doing acts like that, okay, we have people calling him immoral. We have people saying that that was evil, that was messed up, that was bogus. How dare you do that? But then when he doesn't interact with things like that, we claim that there is no God because he let evil acts like that happen.
I'm a new soul, back into this strange world, hoping I could learn a bit about how to give and take. But since
Yo, what is going on, guys? So we got another video today. It's titled Objection. I can't believe in God because of the atrocities he committed. And we know in the Old Testament that there was a lot of times where God sent the Israelites to wipe out everything. He says, men, women, children, animals, you name it, wipe it out, right? And so people say, well, that's so bogus, man. How could you do that? Well, this video will be tackling that question. So I haven't watched any of this at all, guys. I really don't know. Sometimes I watch a little bit so I can see what I'm getting into. But this particular channel does a phenomenal job of taking every question that you probably have as a non-believer, because that's who he's speaking to, and answering them in the form of a biblical perspective. So let's go hop into it.
Yes, how you doing? What's your name?
My name is Kayla.
Hey, Caleb.
Hi. I'm an atheist as well, as Lauren was.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you. I don't expect to change anyone's mind, and I certainly don't speak for all atheists. But there are a lot of atheists who the reason they turn away is because of some of the things that God has done in the Bible. And I'm one of those many people. There's other reasons too, but we don't have that time.
Right.
One of the reasons that I turned and I'm not back, even I'm one of those people who wouldn't believe in Christianity even though it's proven to be true. I would accept it as true, but I wouldn't follow it myself.
Okay. At least you're honest. That's good.
Yeah.
It's good to be honest. I don't think it's good not to follow the truth, but it's good to be honest. Go ahead.
I mean, I would know that it was true if it was proven he was real. Which I don't think there's enough evidence to prove that he is, but if he was, I still should follow him.
Okay.
Because of things that he's done.
Okay.
One of the biggest things that made me not, I would never do it, is because of Noah's Ark, and because he destroyed an entire planet full of people, except this one family,
Yeah.
just because they didn't believe in him, and they chose not to. Even though he gave us free will to do as we choose or not. But then he destroys the entire planet
Yes.
because they didn't.
Excellent question. Yes.
And I
Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into this before he does, because he's probably gonna answer a whole lot better than me. But she said that he wiped out the whole world because they did not believe. That is not what the Bible says. The Bible says he wiped out the entire world because they were wicked. Okay, you take a society or a group of people and you put them there where there is no moral code, there is no right or wrong, there is nothing that God has created to tell you that this is sinful, right? Okay. And what usually happens, as we see in the Old Testament and history with people like Hitler or whatever, you can name like basically what this title says, atrocities, right? You take them, okay, and you remove God and you let them create whatever they want to create, right? So they make false idols like the god Moloch, right? This idol they had that they were sacrificing babies. They would put them on they would heat this statue. Moloch was an idol. And then they would put the baby on the statue's arms right here, okay? And then the baby would burn alive. The baby would be burned alive, and then they would play the drums as loud as they can so the parents wouldn't hear them while they're sacrificing their child. Okay, so when the Lord wipes out people that are doing acts like that, okay, we have people calling him immoral. We have people saying that that was evil, that was messed up, that was bogus. How dare you do that? But then when he doesn't interact with things like that, we claim that there is no God because he let evil acts like that happen. Okay. And so I don't know what this man's about to say, but I just wanted to clarify that that is not why that is probably definitely a reason. I think that he wiped them out because they didn't believe in God, or they didn't trust or believe in the Messiah to come. Because if you did, you wouldn't be wicked people, or you wouldn't revel in your wickedness, because we are wicked people, but we wouldn't completely cut off, ignore, and behave how we want to away from God. So let's hear what he has to say, though.
I mean, there's no way.
All right, let me just ask you a couple questions here, because I'm with you on this one, but I want to make sure we understand the situation accurately. You said that the reason that God destroyed the world was because they didn't believe in Him. Actually, if you read it, the reason He destroyed the world because there was only evil in their hearts continually. They continued to do evil, right? So here's the question: is it just if evil acts are punished? Is it just to punish evil acts?
What he did?
And just in general, is it just to punish evil acts?
You mean what he did, destroying the planet?
Well, don't go all the way there yet. Let's just stay with, is it just in general to punish evil acts?
I don't know what you're asking.
Someone does something wrong.
If someone murders somebody.
Yes, they should.
Okay, generally we agree then, right? When evil's done, justice must be done. Okay, now, if God is our creator, and He did create people, when God kills them, does He murder them?
I believe so. I mean, if He gives us all our own mind and our own choices and our own decisions, and we go and make children and have husbands and wives, and I mean, He's made us autonomous. I mean, you can't just go and kill something.
Okay, but let's take it out of Noah's Ark for a second. Let's just say somebody who's 100 years old dies. God exists, and He pulls His hand away from him. Did God murder that person?
Well, I mean, you die when you're old. That's not.
Okay, so, but if God is God, does He have to guarantee everybody 80 healthy years?
Well, no, but I mean,
Okay.
not everybody on the planet is 80 years old.
I know. What the point here is does God have the authority to play God?
I don't know. I mean, if He made us purely to be worshipers of Him, and that was His whole purpose, then sure, because we're just these things that He's created. But when you create something with free will and everybody has their own thoughts, you can't just kill everyone because now you gave people.
I want to pause it just for a second because I also think that this is interesting, right? She's trying to argue that God gave us this and we should do however we choose and whatever we choose to do with it. It's our choice, right? But that's not even how society works. So why would we expect that to work with us, right? We are given the ability to walk. I can go outside right now. I can go start up a grill and start cooking. And it's like, what? It's 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay. I have a decision to do that. Or I can go and choose to kill someone. All right. Or I can choose to do this, blah, 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 blah. Right. Your actions have consequences. So while I was given the ability to go do whatever I want, at the end of the day, if you go do something stupid, you will wind up in jail with a death sentence, or you will be there for the rest of your life. There are consequences. So what she's saying is that God put us down here to live any way we so choose, and now He's going to try to murder us and kill us and take it away from us. No, He's punishing you because it is just, right? We don't let we don't let things down here that we consider bad go unpunished. If someone wants to molest a child, we send that person to prison and he is there for the rest of his life. Someone rapes someone, someone kills someone. We don't let that just go. So why do we expect God to? You know what I'm saying? Like when He made us, He trusted us. And He didn't want us to be in pain. He didn't want us to be in suffering, right? You look at the garden, right? And the garden was beautiful, right? All the creatures were there in harmony. There was no death. There was no killing. Adam could walk and pet a lion. He could name it. You got all this different access to any fruit you want. He didn't want us to be in pain. He didn't want us to be in suffering. But what did we choose? Well, we chose to sin. We wanted to eat from the tree of knowledge so that we can become like God. Okay. And what she is saying is that God's giving us free will to do whatever we want. Well, I have free will in society to go do whatever I want. Guess what? If I do something stupid, there's consequences. If you choose to disobey God and not listen, there's consequences. And that's what the Bible is trying to show you. Let's go.
People free will and they choose not to believe you. That's not okay.
Well, we do that in America.
Yes, I
That,
agree with
that if people do evil things, we punish them.
Yes.
And if we can do it, can God do it is the question.
Yeah. Assuming he's real, I suppose.
Yes, let's assume for the sake of argument he's real.
Yeah.
Can he do something like Noah's Ark if the people truly were doing evil? Can he judge them?
Well, yeah, but they, according to the Bible, they were making idols and graven images and things. And I mean, I guess in the Ten Commandments that's a sin, but when we think about true evil, I'm thinking, we're all going crazy and killing each other and raping each other and, stuff like that.
And that's important. It's what she just said. It's because we all have our own definition of what we think a bad person is. But we don't consider us a bad person, right? We don't. We don't consider the impure thought to go hurt someone because they pissed us off. We don't consider impure thought of jealousy because we seen something, right, that we don't have but we want, okay? We don't consider that to be evil. That's not that bad, But the Bible tells us that it's all sin, okay? That guy who decided to shoot up a place is it's just as much as a sin as the lie you told. The Bible tells you that, and it tells you this because it helps you understand that you are not more righteous than that individual. You are both sinners, okay? His sin may have been something else, but your sin is something else. But because what we place value on, right? Well, he's such a wicked person. His wickedness is all the way up here. My wickedness is only down here. No, the Bible and God does not see you that way. You are both evil and wicked. And if you repent, guess what? You both can be forgiven and led into heaven. So that's what this is saying.
Whatever, but you can't just murder an entire family.
Well, this was before the Ten Commandments, but people already knew right from wrong. And people already knew that what they were doing was wrong. And God gave them a lot of years of warnings, and they still decided not to follow God. Let me ask you one other thing. If there is a God, let's assuming all this is true, is it unjust of God to take people from this life to the next life anytime he wants?
For any reason at all?
For any reason at all, if he's God.
Well, I don't know how to answer that.
Well, because if Christianity is true, people never really die, they just change locations. Right?
You're right.
God can take you from this life to the afterlife anytime he wants. Nobody's guaranteed 80 healthy years. God can take people at 2 or 82, that's up to him.
Right.
If he's God. Now, this is going to be unfair.
You don't find that horrifying in the extreme?
What's that?
You don't find that horrifying in the extreme, what you just said?
That God can kill people anytime he wants. He can move them from this life to the next life?
Yeah.
No, I don't find that horrifying because if he is God, and again, assuming God exists, he is the standard of rightness. He knows the end from the beginning. He doesn't have to guarantee me or anybody else one more second.
Then why would you want to believe in something like that?
Because I think there's evidence it's true.
But why would you want to
Because if he is good, which is what the evidence shows, he is the standard of goodness, when he takes me out, that's the right time.
Yeah.
But I understand why these issues are problematic. But remember, what you're doing is you're bringing a moral standard to the text, and you're saying that your moral standard is somehow higher than the moral standard of God.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is no God, there are no objective moral standards. Everything's just a matter of opinion.
Not true.
Well, I mean,
That's not true, sir.
killing
It's
a
not
baby
just a matter of opinion. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you said that numerous times.
Okay, well, I'm happy to talk to you at the microphone, but
If
But-
I can kill babies with impunity, I could never follow someone like that.
okay, let me ask you a question. And I don't mean to be unfair, but I want to ask you a question. Are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Well, I'm pro-choice.
Okay, here's my question, and don't take this the wrong way. But why is it that when God plays God and chooses who lives and dies, he's immoral, but when we play God and chooses who lives and dies, that's immoral, right?
That was actually good. Is that not like spot on? Like basically he's saying that she's trying to tell us that God is wrong and immoral and basically he murdered the people before Noah's Ark. Okay, but she just said that she's pro-choice. So to my understanding, that means that she is for the having the choice to abort babies, I believe. So that's not immoral. That's not wrong, right? My life, I wouldn't be able to take care of a kid. I would have to give up school. I had to give up everything. I can't have no kid in my life. Whatever justification you use, you do. And she supports that. So I just thought that was kind of
There are different.
spot on.
Part of the problem that I have as well is that there's not just one kind of abortion. People think abortion is killing. I mean, they think that what people think abortion is, and what I used to think it is, before I educated myself, is that they go into a woman when she's 6 or 7 months pregnant and kill the child.
Sometimes that does happen.
Well, that happens in places that are not okay, and it's not a thing that's supposed to happen.
So you would be against what we call partial birth abortion?
Something like that, yes, because they're viable outside. But the thing is when it's the first 3 months, most abortions have to happen.
And this just goes to show again, justifying whatever we want to be our own God. It's not just her, bro. I want to do it. You probably want to do it if you're not a non-Christian. Like, she's making up her own justification. She's trying to come up with something to where she's like, well, actually, if you catch it at this stage, it's not killing, but you know what I'm saying? And it's like we find our own justification so that we can kind of have like our self-righteous view of what we think is wrong and what we think is right. Okay, so.
Because there's something wrong with either the child or the mother that could make it extremely dangerous.
Okay, if we were to allow abortions for those circumstances, but outlaw them for every other circumstance, would you be with me?
Well, I don't know. It would have to depend on the circumstance. That's the thing, is there's a gray area. It can't always be black and white. There's a gray area. And sometimes abortions are okay, and sometimes.
When are they okay? If there's not going to be any, if the mother's not going to die, why would killing the baby be beneficial?
If it was a product of rape, it would be beneficial.
Well, yeah, we could go down that road. Let's leave rape out of it for a second because we could go. Okay, but let's just say a healthy baby, no problems. The woman just doesn't want it. Should she be able to abort it?
Well, no, but that's like less than 1%.
Kayla, it's about 93% of the abortions out there are convenience abortions. They're not rape, incest, health of the mother, life of the mother.
That's scary. I actually didn't know that. But again, coming to like, I'm not saying she could have came prepared. I think she just had some questions and she was curious, but that's actually a scary statistic. That's 93% of people who have not been raped, who basically opt out not to bring a baby into the world. Okay. So yeah, that's what I mean by us playing God of our own lives. Like kind of just what we deem is right, what's beneficial to us. And wow, I didn't know that, man. I did not know that.
They're convenience abortions.
93% of abortions are at that term?
Yes. No, 93% of abortions are not due to health of the mother, life of the mother, rape or incest. Or birth
Oh,
defects.
that's different, okay.
Yeah, they're just because the lady doesn't want the baby. That's the reason. But I appreciate you coming and interacting. If I give you a book, would you read it? Okay. Can you hang out after this? Because I don't have any books here. They're out. Chris is going to go get one. I just want to give you a book because you're a trooper for standing here and talking about this. These are hard.
All right, so I mean, like this is what I like about these actual. I've been watching like a lot of this cross exam. I expect to see a whole lot more of this because the questions get tougher. The arguments that come from atheists, non-believers, the questions that people who are not Christians, people from different religions, like they all come and they like to grill said speakers on these questions. But these men are highly educated men. They're professors, they're lawyers, they're philosophers. Like these people are not just almost put my blind faith in something. What I'm trying to say is that we are supposed to have faith, but there's also a lot of research, a lot of evidence. There is a lot of facts behind what we believe. And I would encourage you to go do your research, go check it out. I'll always say that. But if you guys made this far, make sure you smack that like button. Again, if you guys have any questions or kind of ideas, comments, leave them down below. If you're new here, consider subscribing. That's gonna do it for me. I'm out. Peace.
Chucky got the sauce, bitch.